Hey everyone, this is Becky Berg, and welcome to the warm-up and introduction for multi-digit multiplication. In this short session, we are simply going to warm up with some dot images and begin to think about how connections are key to our learning. So let's start with the dot image. How many do you see, and how do you see it? All right, so take a look at these options. Which way did you think about it? Did you skip count by fives? That would be option A. Did you B, see 10 on top, 10 on the bottom, and then 5 in the middle? Or C, did you just know that you saw 5 groups of 5 and that was 25? Or D, you looked at the 4 groups of 5, kind of in the corners, and that was 20, and then 5 more in the middle. Go ahead and choose which option your strategy was. All right, let's take a look at another one. How many do you see and how do you see it? Keep in mind the same amount is in each group or each circle. And let's pretend that we don't know the basic fact of 7 times 6. Okay, so did you skip count by 6s and got to 42? Did you see 5 groups of 6 on the bottom, which is 30? Maybe you're good at groups of 5. And 30 plus 12 more on top would be 42. How about C? You can see in the visual there, maybe you saw 2 groups of 6 3 times, so 12 plus 12 plus 12, or 3 groups of 12 is 36, and then you added that extra group of 6 to get 42. Or perhaps you saw this image and you took 1 away from each of the groups so that in your mind you only saw 7 groups of 5 instead of 7 groups of 6, because you knew that was 35. And then you added the 7 back that you took away. So that would be 35 plus 7 is 42. Which way did you solve or think about it? So I want you to keep in mind that these single-digit multiplication strategies that we use when we learn basic facts are connected to the multi-digit strategies. Okay, so that's empowering, right? It's connected. These strategies that we use in single-digit multiplication include the distributive property, right? Just like we did, we decomposed those visuals and broke them apart in friendly ways, okay? Compensation, right? We took some of those dots away and then to make the problem easier, and we added them back in. And we used that associative property where we're just associating in friendly ways, all right? So those were some strategies that we were using as we looked at those visuals. Those are strategies we use in single-digit multiplication, all right? So the beautiful thing is, we're not going to step into multi-digit and do a 360, right? There is coherence here. Students need to see the connectedness. So even though our examples right now are with single digit, we're going to make sure that we connect to that. All right? I call that the cheat code, the math hack. Hey, use what's easy for you. Use what you already know about multiplication as you step into multi-digit multiplication. All right? These intentional connections, these, the math hacks, the cheat code, relate to place value properties and relationships. Okay? We are also going to connect these strategies to fractions and fraction computation, right? So that we can use what we learned here in multi-digit multiplication and connect that to fractions, not to mention as we move into algebra. These are intentional connections so that our students don't see what we're learning as isolated islands, right? We don't want them to jump from one island to the next, right? And not see how they're connected, all right? That's sometimes where the frustration happens, is if students feel like what they learned before doesn't apply to where they're headed. So as we step into our learning of multi-digit multiplication, let's really think about how we can create bridges across these islands so that we're not taking a new leap in learning.